Hey, we're back here on Gadgetplex. I'm Andy McCaskey. Philip May is joining us on Skype here today. You're probably wondering what this box is. We'll find out in just a little bit in our next segment. But, we want to return to what we were talking about in the world of Wi-Fi. And so, Phil, here's the question. What can you do to make your Wi-Fi more reliable, to give you more range, and just what kind of choices are out there for the RV enthusiast?
So, one of the problems that you're trying to overcome is the fact that you're sitting there in your RV, and the signal is not getting to where you are. Wi-Fi was never really designed to be a long distance. It was designed to be a small distance, and so over the years it's been embellished and improved. But to try and improve that situation, you need to figure a way or have a system so that the signal can get sort of out of your laptop and over to the where the actual Wi-Fi transmitter is. Now, there's a couple of really good solutions that are around. There's many, and we've kind of zeroed it down onto a couple. But in essence, what they do is they are external antennas coupled with a more powerful Wi-Fi transmitter. And in order to make them very easy to use, you plug them into the USB port on your computer, and then you just load a little piece of software which is called a driver, which will tell the computer or the laptop to use the external amplifier and the antenna instead of the one that's inside it. Now, the good things about these external amplifiers and antennas is they can be 10 to 15 times more powerful than the one that's inside your laptop. So, with the right system and putting the amplifier and the antenna in the right position, you can really make a big difference.
So the power levels are they directly proportionate to the amount of range that you would get, or are you sometimes in situations where you really have to sock it just to get through, even though it's a very relatively short distance?
It's very difficult to relate the power level to the range, because the range depends on so many different things. It can be, the weather, how much moisture is in the air. It can be, what's the line of sight like? Maybe there's trees in the way, or there might be other RVs in the way between your antenna and the main transmitter. You may be sitting inside of an RV that has a metal skin. Some of the airstreams and so on are all aluminum, and so that can cut down the signal a lot. So these are all the different factors, and what we try and say to people as they come and ask us is really the best way is to just to kind of try it. These things aren't magic, but when you do connect them, you stand a much better chance of being able to get out and get the signal out than if you just rely on the little antenna and amplifier that's in your laptop.
Yeah. What happens if you actually create your own Wi-Fi, so to speak, and now not so much your laptop sending to the Wi-Fi access point, but kind of the reverse? You have access on the campground, but you also could make your own Wi-Fi hotspot. What are some ways that you can do this, and kind of the pluses and minuses?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Really, just to sort of talk a little bit more about what you're saying is, you to have some system of bringing in the Wi-Fi and then creating your own little hotspot. That's becoming a lot more popular nowadays, particularly on the cell phone side, where people will be using air cards and cell phones to try and connect to the internet. And then what the phones and these data cards will do is set up their own little networks. One's called a MiFi. It's quite popular from Verizon. On the Wi-Fi side, that's a little bit harder to do. It's called a repeater. Up until recently, it's been really prohibitively hard. Although there are some, and one system in particular that we haven't had a chance to evaluate yet, but I've read about, that is aimed on doing exactly what you're saying. Is you basically can pull in a signal and then configure it so you have your own little network, which is great, because you don't need to change names, and all the printers, wireless printers and things that you have can use your own network as well as connecting to the internet. So that's kind of like a little bit of a new development.
Yeah, we've had excellent results with the Cradlepoint device, which kind of makes its own MiFi cloud, very similar to the MiFi box itself. And it's not even a box; it's really a little card-sized thing, right?
Yeah, that's right. The cradle points, if you have one of the, let's say, older style data cards that would normally plug into a laptop via the USB, typically you've been limited to just one computer at a time, which is frustrating. Rather than spending a lot of money on a new card, the cradle point router is a little gadget, little box that you plug the data card into, and like you say, creates its own Wi-Fi network that a number of different computers and devices like printers can connect to. So they're very convenient, and we see a lot of RVers using those.
Yeah. The other thing is that in addition to your iDevices that you might have, multiple laptops, how many wireless devices do you have in the Techno RV mobile there?
That's funny. I was telling somebody the other day, would you believe this? We actually have 6 laptops and 2 wireless printers, as well as then 2 iPhones. So also that's 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 10 wireless devices all connecting to the network.
Right, and the ability to pull into a different campground and still not have to reconfigure or set up drivers or IP addresses would be a big asset. So those are some of the ways that you can do that. We'll be back here. We're going to do our first unboxing here on Gadgetplex, and we're also going to have some questions that are probably on your mind about Wi-Fi here on Gadgetplex.
Today's show is brought to you by Angie's List, where you'll find thousands of unbiased reports and reviews about service companies in your area. Whether you're looking for a roofer, plumber, house cleaner, dentist, or even a doctor, Angie's List members share their experiences with each other so that you can choose the service company that's right for your job. Companies can't pay to be on Angie's List, and the reviews come from people just like you who have had experience with the companies mentioned. To find out more, go to rvnn.tv and click on the Angie's List ad.